The M1941 Johnson rifle was an American short-recoil operated semi-automatic rifle designed by Melvin Johnson prior to World War II. The M1941 competed unsuccessfully with the US M1 rifle. Design. The M1941 rifle used the energy from recoil to operate the rifle. As the bullet and propellant gases moved down the barrel, they imparted a force on the bolt head that was locked to the barrel. The barrel, together with the bolt, moved a short distance rearward until the bullet left the barrel and pressure in the bore had dropped to safe levels. The barrel then stopped against a shoulder, allowing the bolt carrier to continue rearward under the momentum imparted by the initial recoil stage. The rotating bolt, which had 8 locking lugs, would then lock the bolt. Following, a cam arrangement then rotated and unlocked the bolt to continue the operating cycle. One disadvantage of this design was its impact on the use of a bayonet, as the complex movements of the barrel would be subject to unacceptable stress when a bayonet thrust was used. The Johnson rifle utilized a unique 10-round rotary magazine and a 2-piece stock, the weapon using the same 5-round stripper clips used by the M1903 rifle. This system had some advantages over the M1 rifle, including lower felt recoil and greater magazine capacity. The magazine could be recharged using the standard Springfield stripper clips at any time, which the Garand could not, and the Johnson did not suffer from M1 ping, the distinctive sound as the Garand's end block clip was ejected that the enemy learned meant the shooter was momentarily unable to return fire. Unfortunately, the Johnson's recoiling barrel mechanism resulted in excessive vertical shot dispersion that was never fully cured during its production life, and was prone to malfunction when a bayonet was attached to the reciprocating barrel. The Johnson also employed a number of small parts that were easily lost during field stripping. Partially because of lack of development, the M1941 was less rugged and reliable than the M1, though this was a matter of degree and was not universally opined amongst those that had used both weapons in combat. As was Johnson's practice, he gave all of his weapons a pet nickname. Johnson christened his semi-automatic rifle Betsy and the light machine gun Emma. Melvin Johnson continued to develop small arms. He worked with Armalite and Colt's Manufacturing Company as an advocate for the AR-15. The AR-15 used a similar bolt design to the M1941 Johnson. History. Melvin Johnson campaigned heavily for the adoption of the Johnson rifle by the U.S. Army and other service branches. However, after limited testing, the U.S. Army rejected Johnson's rifle in favor of the M1 rifle developed by Springfield Armory. The M1941 was ordered by the Netherlands for issue to the KNIL in the Dutch East Indies, but only a few rifles were shipped to the Dutch East Indies before the Japanese invaded. At this time, the U.S. Marine Corps found itself in need of a modern fast-firing infantry rifle, and acquired some rifles from the Dutch East Indies shipment for issue to its para-marine battalions then preparing to deploy for action in the Pacific Theater. By all accounts, the M1941 performed acceptably in combat with the Marines in the early days of the Pacific fighting. Weapon serial number A0009 was issued to USMC Captain Robert Hugo Dunlap of Monmouth, Illinois, and he carried it into combat in the Battle for Iwo Jima, beginning February 19, 1945. Captain Dunlap was awarded the Medal of Honor for his actions in that battle, and he retained and displayed the weapon until his death in 2000. He praised the rifle and credited it with saving his life and the lives of others. Despite repeated requests to adopt the rifle by the Marine Corps, the Johnson rifle also lacked the support of U.S. Army Ordnance, which had already invested considerable sums in the development of the M1 and its revised gas operating system, then just going into full production. Johnson was successful in selling small quantities of the M1941 Johnson light machine gun to the U.S. Armed Forces, and this weapon was later used by both Para-Marines and the Army's 1st Special Service Force. Additionally, in April 1944, the United States War Department offered the Free French military the use of approximately 10,500 Johnson rifles and 1,500 Johnson light machine guns. These guns were from undelivered Dutch/Netherlands contracts taken over by the United States government in 1942. The French accepted them and issued them to their sovereignty troops, i.e. units composed mainly of Europeans. In late 1946, Argentina expressed an interest in Johnson's arms, and Johnson fabricated a prototype, the model 1947 Auto Carbine, a semi-automatic rifle variant of the light machine gun with the 10-round cylindrical magazine. While specific details are sketchy, it apparently bore little resemblance, but shared some features with the Johnson M1941 light machine gun. Argentina apparently declined to purchase any, and the M1947 Auto Carbine never went into production. In any event, the post-war years were not kind to the Johnson organization. The entity filed for bankruptcy and was liquidated in early 1949. A notable example is the FMA VF1 manufactured in Argentina. The Johnson rifle was also used in the 1961 Bay of Pigs invasion by the Anti-Castro Brigade 2506. Because it was produced in relatively small quantities, the Johnson rifle has become a highly sought-after collectible by World War II collectors looking to complete their collections. Users: Chile, Cuba, France, Netherlands, Dutch East Indies, KNIL, United States, Republic of China. Type semi-automatic rifle. Place of origin United States. Service history. In service 1941-1945. Used by C users. Wars World War II. Bay of Pigs invasion. Production history. Designer Melvin Johnson. Designed 1939. Manufacturer Johnson Automatics, Inc. No built 70000 cost per unit $125. Variants VF1, Argentine copy. Specifications: weight 9.5 pounds, 4.31 kilograms. Length 45.87 in, 1165 millimeters. Barrel length 22 in, 560 millimeters. Cartridge. 3006 Springfield. 7x57 mm Mauser, Chilean variant, .270 Winchester. Action short recoil, rotating bolt. Muzzle velocity 2840 feet/s, 866 m/s. Feed system 10-round rotary magazine. Sights adjustable iron sights.
Please subscribe and thanks for watching.